After a month in the making, we're finally here to show you what's good. This is the official Gold Island video for Your Singing Monsters, celebrating my 1,000 sub milestone. There's some great surprises in the video, so keep an eye out for it. Gold Island is kind of really difficult to talk about because of its sheer size. It has so many monsters that you kinda lose track of them all after a while, making ranking them all a colossal task that was hard to pull off. Because of this, the video is being extended to a top 5 and a bottom 5 again, kinda like with Wublin Island. And without further delay, let's just see what people think about Gold Island.
Mon Gold Island is, to say the least, You tried. Doesn't really seem like it, but you gave it your honest all. I think. I mean, it couldn't just skip being on Gold Island now, could it? If natural monsters could skip being on Gold Island, BBB probably would have taken the chance. But alas, Gold Island is like a family reunion. Everyone's there and you probably don't even know what half of them do. Speaking of not knowing what they do, what Maul does on Gold Island honestly isn't as memorable as it is. As if it was ever memorable. However, I see why. It's the send-off of islands. All monsters are audited, meaning there's monsters bound to be covered by others. And that's where Maul comes in. See it as you will, but Maul just plays too much. But, oh well. Not like I can hear Maul anyways. Well, maybe if it played its own thing, I could. But that's a maybe.
Shoutouts to the worst seasonal on this island. Blabbit kind of has the same problems as Maw. It just kind of comes in, doesn't really do anything that useful. It doesn't complement any other monsters at all. It just kind of comes in like all the other 50 monsters in that verse that just come in at random, like Toadjammer, Sponge, Wubbox, Nandy-Doo, Furcorn. Like, it's not useful. You get rid of him and then the verse just becomes a lot more stable, because it's not like, oh, Blabbit comes in, leaves, then comes in again, and then you hear the verse and you're like, wow, this is a lot better. What just happened? You get rid of Blabbit, this annoying monster that provides no benefit to the song. The only reason why people even remember Blabbit on this island is because of the stupid haha trio Sugarbush, Deej, Blabbit. Like, no, come on, dog. I'll pack it up. Blabbit sucks. Moving on.
Tweedle is one of the worst sounds on Gold Island, and arguably one of the worst sounds in My Singing Monsters. The first thing that strikes you when you listen to Gold Island is that it sounds completely off compared to every other Tweedle in existence. If I could describe the sound, it sounds like a completely different voice actor tried their best to imitate Tweedle from memory and then put a bad filter on top of it. Making a monster doing something it's not established to do is only okay in very certain situations, and this isn't one of them. Tweedle shouldn't have played chords when we already have another choir monster, Chorister. This isn't the Chorister segment, but imagine how much better it'd be if Chorister played in Tweedle's place and Tweedle played something else. Another problem with Tweedle on Gold Island is its animation. Its animation isn't good. It's essentially its idol except with the mouth movements and eye movements. Its animation is really boring and uninteresting, and it also doesn't fit the feel of the original vocal, which sounded like it was either crying or screaming. And then finally, its last problem, it just simply doesn't duet with any monsters. It sounds so bad on its own and isn't used right.
Yeah, Sponge, on Gold, is the best sponge in the world, Okay, but seriously though, Sponge on Gold Island is one of the worst sounds on Gold Island, and just overall, one of the worst sounds in general. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I wonder what I should eat for lunch today. And to that I say, well, I'd suggest a sandwich. Sandwiches are always great, especially this OP kind of sandwich that I thought of once. You just take a tortilla or a piece of pita bread, you put some cheese on it, put it in the microwave, and put it in the microwave, top it with some cold cut turkey, put it in the microwave for like 2 minutes. That's the best sandwich in the world. Anyways, after you get yourself that food to enjoy with this video, be prepared to throw it all back up because Sponge on Gold Island is so awful, and it's about time I explain why. For starters, let's start simply explaining Sponge. Sponge is a rotund green monster who, throughout the various island it inhabits, puckers its lips and blows in order to create a sound that, despite being vocal in technicality, contains many instrumental aspects. This masterful technique is what people like to refer to as whistling. Why am I explaining this? Cause Sponge on Gold Island obviously seems to have forgotten this entire concept in every way, shape, and form. It sounds like a child's attempt at whistling at age 3, not at all any sort of professional manner within this sound. It makes Sponge's contribution not just unimpactful, but negatively impactful on the song. Along with the sounding like a 3-year-old's attempt at whistling, it also sounds like it was recorded on a toy microphone that comes with your untuned xylophone and rubber cat-shaped piano. It is the definition of unprofessional in every aspect. So, what do you get when you record a sound that's just nothing with a microphone that's can't record anything? You get nothing, and that's what Sponge is on this island. It's memeable at best, and a massive headache at worst. It doesn't help that Gold Island's arrangement causes it to join into the song with around 7 other monsters, creating just a huge cacophony of noise washing over this attempt at a lovely, peaceful song. Sponge tries its worst on this island, and it went as well as you'd expect. Now MC Homer, on the other hand...
Dandy do. More like, Dandy don't listen to it on this island. As much as I hate to say it, Dandy do is by far the worst monster on Gold Island. Let's start with that horrendous voice crack when it first starts singing. I mean, I don't know if it was added for effect or something, but it does not sound good at all and would probably maybe sound just a bit better without it. But then again, the more I think about it, with or without it, it's awful. And don't even get me started on how loud and abrasive Dandy Do is. Normally, Dandy Do is more on the soft side, adding a nice accompaniment or doing a decent solo. But on Gold Island, Dandy Do is just way too loud and in your face. It doesn't help that it plays at an already overcrowded part. But to make matters worse, it's one of the main offenders of that verse. And then there's the melody, which is god-awful. I mean, I'm no virtuoso, but even I know something is not right there. Now, going back to that overcrowded part thing, yeah, no, Dandy Do really doesn't work in the first verse because it just does not harmonize with anything else when it sings. It sticks out like a sore thumb and really should have had its part reconsidered. I don't know what the lead composer was thinking when they decided to put Dandy Do there and gave it the part that it has. Ugh. Anyway. It goes without saying that Dandy Do is the worst monster on Gold Island. It may be my favorite, but that doesn't stop it from taking the #1 worst spot.
Dishonorable mentions include the following monsters. A large amount of the percussive monsters on Gold Island are pretty much just throwaway. They don't do anything and are probably the least memorable tracks in MSM's history. Thumpy's, once more, is just Mammoth for literally no reason. This is a super orchestral song. How do you waste a timpani that hard? Riedling is just eh. It's not bad, but for an instrument like flutes, it probably should have done way more in a song like this. Oh, and Brett, how I pity you. It's not even your fault you're here, it's just the unfortunate timing of your singing. If only you were placed just slightly better. 3 seasonals, those being Punkleton, Yule, and Hula, all get this spot because they're basically what they were on other islands, but just slightly altered. Whether it be the rhythm, the actual notes, or just being overall pretty weak. Also, Hula moans, and it's not alright. Wubbox and its rare sibling are both here because they're either A, way too quiet, or B, do not fit the song theme at all. I'm glad they at least somewhat toned down Wubbox, otherwise he'd easily be way worse.
Schmoochel is completely deserving of a spot as one of the best Gold Island monsters. Bro, it's a pack, it's a peck, it's a puck, it's epic in pretty much every conceivable way. There's a ton of points about its sound that I could begin with, but I'll start with the elephant, I mean the ent brat in the room. The thing that anyone could hopefully tell immediately upon hearing this thing for the first time. It is astoundingly voiced. It's really not anything new for Dave Kerr to voice a monster this amazingly, and Gold Island Smoochel just further supports that fact. If you lower the pitch of this thing enough towards Kerr's original voice, you can kinda just sense how much effort was put into getting every note to the perfect length and clarity. But man, I'm rambling on about this. Let's move on to its actual composition, which is relatively simple. There's not a lot of notes, and most of its sound has an extremely similar rhythm to it on Air Island, which it does get a lot of slack for, but which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. First of all, its Gold Island sound changes up at the very end from Air Island from having 2 short notes to a single lasting one, and second, while copying rhythms from their home islands may not be the most creative approach for seasonals on this island, 4/5 of them do it, and well, go back in the video to see just how far the only one that doesn't got. Although its composition is simple, every note it sings being held is a unique feature and fits the song very well, providing a melody that, while different compared to others in later parts of the song, accompanies the more tense verses beautifully. On top of that, the inflections of its voice and the harmonizing duet between the heads at the end fit the grand, sort of heavenly atmosphere of Gold Island wonderfully. Schmoochel on Gold Island will go down in the history books for its pure superlativeness above all other seasonal monster sounds, and I weep buckets every time I hear it. Personally, I recommend listening to it a minimum of 5 times daily for optimum mental and physical health.
Hey, it's me, Mean PDS, and here I'm going to tell you about why both Mammoth and Potbelly are 2 of the best sounds on Gold Island. Because, I gotta tell you, these funky little guys duet completely amazingly, and in the best of words, the song wouldn't really be the same without them. Well, at least the first verse. Like, let me break it down for you. When it comes to Mammoth, it's a completely OP melody, like, whenever I hear that funny little yeti go bum bum, I feel that. And when it comes to Potbelly, it's a completely OP support. And when these 2 monsters together, they duet perfectly. There's no flaws with it. And even individually, these 2 monsters have really good sounds, and they carry amazingly, even if the way that they sing them, it's pretty simplistic. Overall though, these 2 monsters do their jobs perfectly with the song, and that's pretty much why they deserve to be in the eyes of the high tiers. Moving on now.
Hello, I'm Mofix, and I'm gonna be talking about the 3rd best one on Gold Island. At number 3, we have Clamble. Clamble is a percussion monster, and on this island, I think he's really good. There's a lot of reasons why he's good. There's the rhythm, there's the sound, and like, I also really like the transitions he makes. Here, I'll do like an impression of the monster just so you know how he sounds like. So on Gold Island, he kind of goes like, it's like something like that, I don't know, but like, so this monster is really good because it's like, first of all, the rhythm is very unique. Usually for like a cymbal, it would usually be something very basic, and it's usually like 1/8 note all the time, or quarter note, or I don't actually know how notes work. Like, you can literally just go on like FL Studio right now and just click and drag, and then just have that, and like then you'd be done. You'd be like, wow, this is a cymbal. It's like really repetitive. It just sounds like somebody knocking on a freaking door, and it's really bad. But this time, it's good. And also, the other thing I really like about this guy is like he adds so much to it. Like, just like the transition with the crash cymbal is really good. It adds a lot of it just sounds a lot better with, like, here, do an experiment. Just listen to Gold Island with Clamble first, and then listen to it after, like, without Clamble. you'll see that there's a huge difference because he adds so much. His sound is very good for the island. The sound itself is like it's perfect for the song, and it's really good. And I think that's why he deserves to be number 3. Okay, I think I'm done with this. All right, thank you. Please subscribe to my.
Alright, Hex here. Let me tell you why Quibble is all the way up here. Let's just take a look at it first. This monster is the most Gold Island looking monster there is. But we aren't here to talk about his looks. That's why I'm about to praise this two-headed AV sound. What's really juicy about the first 2 tracks is the whole setting of this song really just relies off of Quibble's piano. It gives the whole environment for the song to feel like Gold Island, and it's like the first track does that right. But then you have this like extraordinary second track. That's where Quibble shows you how deep we are with this island. My god, this song wouldn't not feel right if it weren't for Quibble. Quibble is like the boss of that verse, especially with Octopus and Pom Pom giving it away at the same time. And then, after all that, it cools down with its third track, letting the others take it away. Quibble overall does things right on this island. In fact, this island is Quibble's home. Overall, Quibble's job is to fit the theme of what island is on, and it can do that right most of the times. Sometimes it's just not right for Quibble. But yeah, sorry Bogart fans, Quibble's the real winner of Gold Island. I played the entire song.
So number 1... What?
Well, I mean, it's obviously Toe Jammer, right? You can't tell me it's not Toe Jammer. I mean, the rest of your list I don't agree with at all, but surely we can both agree that number 1 is Toe Jammer, right?
No, it's...
Are you serious? Toe Jammer is a beautiful, somber testament to all of those who achieved getting him to level 15. His beautiful harmonies echoing chords once heard in Papa Bell's famous masterpiece, Canyon Leaf. It may not be a perfect retorting, but I believe that adds to it. This is a monster who you raised from day 1 to now. One of the first monsters you've ever seen in the game. One of the first parts you'll ever get stuck in your head, the classic boom, doo, boom, doo, up, that even those who haven't played in years can recall. It's not perfect, yes, but neither are any of us, and neither will be your child if you decide to have any. But when they're up there performing in the big leagues, performing what they've practiced and worked on and are so proud of, you'll have no choice but to smile and be so proud of what they've done. It won't blow you away. It won't be the best performance you've ever seen. They may not even remember it in a few months. But it's an achievement they, and by extent you as a player, have worked hard for. Constantly giving the coins, constantly performing, staying as quiet or as loud as you wish for it to be, it obeys. Now you're probably wondering how this separates it from any other monster. You're probably saying they all...
Okay then. I don't think he's stopping anytime soon, so let's just keep going. Ahem. The number 1 spot is Sugarbush. It's really not fair, but it's true. The fact that it's a real published musician with a real instrument really playing said instrument just makes it way too hard to consider any other option. Sugarbush's first track is amazing, its second track is amazinger, everything about it is almost godlike with how good they are. I just can't get enough of it. The second track in particular is the main reason it's all the way up this high, because that track is so good it basically reinvented the song. That smooth as silk voice comboing with the absolutely melodic mandolin just strike every good bone in my musician body. It's honestly one of those instances where it may not be your favorite, but it's undeniably the best. Right, Drink?
We're not perfect, we're not horrible, we're humans, we make mistakes. Toe Jammer beautifully paints a sonic portrait of not only life itself, but what follows it. Whether it's nothing, heaven, or anything else that we cannot possibly predict. Toe Jammer on Gold Island perfectly makes you feel at peace with what's to come. This concludes why ToeJammer easily should take the #1 spot.
Honorable mentions include the following monsters. Bogart is always super duper good, but he didn't make the cut this time because I'm just not a fan of its Gold Island sound font. That's pretty much it. Deej actually playing an instrument is not what makes it good. It's the fact that the melody it plays with said instrument is straight masterpiece work, and if these notes were on any other monster, they'd probably be placed here too. But also points for originality. This is probably one of the highest spots Pummel will ever get, but it's for good reason. It may be minimal, but using those super dense heavy toms for a transitional percussive line really helps tie the whole song together. It just wouldn't feel the same without it. Chorister has never been bad. In fact, it's never even been mediocre. It's always super good sounding at minimum. This is not the last time you'll see it up this high. Cybop may be a little hard to hear in the final verse, but it's really worth paying attention to just because it's so darn snazzy. Really helps tie the rest of the island together. It's a good way to end the song. Pom Pom is just the superior hula. Not only is its voice way more pleasing to listen to, but it also gets the bonus of that really super mega good final track. In fact, this placement is entirely because of said second track, not even considering the first. Well, that's Gold Island, and oh boy, this one took a while. As a full song, it's really cluttered. Tons of things are overused, while others are barely used at all. But at the end of the day, it's still Gold Island. It has so much charm and character behind it that I can't ever stay mad at it, and it'll always stand as a testament to MSM as a whole, with the whole idea of monsters displaying their musical abilities together in harmony, even if the song's not that great. I want to thank everyone who joined in on this huge project. Their channels will all be in the description and also in the credits that will be shown in a little bit. I couldn't have done this as cool as shown without all of you. Next upload will be back to our regular scheduled islands, so I hope to see you then. Stick around. Alright. Gold Island. I know I said it had a lot of charm, but charm can only carry you so far. Unfortunately, a ton of the clutter and the misuse of monsters kind of prevent it from being one of the higher up islands, but so far, considering the schlock we've trogged through, this is a really good song. Honestly, at the end of the day, Gold Island will always be Gold Island. You can't, it's more like, it is the most 5 out of 10 island that exists. It'll probably always be the top of B. It'll always be the gatekeeper into like the really good stuff.
Here we go. It's me, Quibble. I'm really good on Gold Island. Oh yeah. Got the Quibble, baby. It's really Quibble. Yeah. Really do be like that, huh? Oh yeah. That is how it's Quibble.